friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you had a few moments you could come and hang out with me. So today I have my seasons journal. You may have seen this before. This is the journal, or I should say the glue book, that I am using when Care and I are doing our hashtag using the same images challenge. And we decided we would do it seasonally. Now this is Care over at My Take at the Lake. I'll leave her link down below. You can also check out our hashtag, which is hashtag using the same images, and you can see the videos that we have made. So we made pages using the same images for fall and Thanksgiving, and now we're coming upon winter. No, we're not coming upon it. It is winter, and we're now past Christmas. And we were hoping that we would have a Christmas magazine that we could harvest together. So we both signed up for Country Living, and this was a while back. I feel like it was about a month ago. And it was only about $10 for the whole year. So we figured if we both signed up for that magazine, then when it comes in, we know we have that one that we can harvest together and use the same images in our season's glue books. Now the only problem is we didn't get our first issue of Country Living, and we were hoping to have it for the holidays, but we did not. So we both decided that we would have a bit of creator's choice, and we could make a couple of Christmas pages before our next collab, which will be winter, because by that point we should definitely have our first issue in January, I'm hoping, so we can go ahead and do some winter pages. And that reminds me, if you want to play along with us, feel free to grab a Country Living at the store or sign up for the subscription, and you can play along with us, harvest the same images, and you can see what you come up with, and then you can let us know that you're playing, and that would be a lot of fun. So back to this. This is what I'm going to be working on today. I harvested some Christmas images yesterday and some more images that I had from last year and a couple other things. So yeah, so let's do some gluing. Okay, and here is the part where I switch over into a voiceover because it is just so hard for me to talk and glue at the same time. So I've sped it up because there's just a lot of time where I kind of ponder where images are going to go, or I'm gluing down edges, and it takes a while. Also, I seem to be particularly clumsy today because I was ripping images. So this nice big image even, I ripped at the bottom. But don't worry. The thing is, you don't have to worry about it, especially with a glue book, because look, you can just cover it right up. So never worry about it. If you get a rip, all is well. You can just keep adding more images on top, or words, or whatever you want. And apologies to this poor lady. I had to cut off her head at the top in order to fit the bottom where she's holding the present. But I still think it looks okay. But yeah, I'm really sorry I had to cut off the top. So I did have a question in the comments from Kirsten, who was also harvesting images and had some larger images, and she was wondering how to use the larger images. So of course you can use them however you want, but I find one of the most helpful things is to use the large images as a background, sort of like your foundation, and then you can build on top of that. So in this image, I had the cabinet with the little houses, so that's my background. And even the image of the lady was large. I trimmed out the background so it's just her, and she is a pretty large image, but she looks great. Now she does take up quite a lot of the page and covers up some of that background, maybe a little more than I was planning on, but I do still really like it. And yeah, and then here's another big image, big cookie image. I loved this picture. And again, I'm going to use that as my background. Now, I don't always do this. Sometimes I just have a bunch of smaller images that I stick on the page, and then, all together they eventually wind up covering up the paper. But for these next few pages, I am using some large images, and this one has some writing on it. So the one with the cookies, you can see there's some words on there, and I'm not really fond of having random words on there. I mean, in this case it works because it just says like sugar cookies, so it's not that big of a deal, but I prefer for them to be covered up, and then if I want to add words, that's fine. So I've got my big cookie background, and then I just liked how this little ceramic set looked at the bottom. I thought it really blended in with the cookie page. It kind of looks like they were meant to go together. They're kind of in the same color scheme. That mug I loved, but I felt like it just covered up too much. So I have this partridge in a pear tree, and it had a big white background. And so that was another image that started off large. It was a full page. But I wound up fussy cutting all of the image out and got rid of all of that white and just left the branches, the bird, and the pear. And when I was gluing it on, I ripped the branches because they were very thin. But you just get the glue, you do a little patching up, and it's usually all okay in the end. And then I just want to add that cute little mouse. I just thought she looked really cute right there on the branch. And this is my last page I will be doing for today. And I think it's my last page in the seasons book. I don't want to do too many because I really want to save this book for my collabs with care. I just wanted a couple pages to kind of ease into winter. So on this page, I have more of a pink and silver kind of theme going on. So those two images are big. They don't take up the whole page. But again, I'm putting my big images on first. And then I'm left with a couple of small spaces that I'm then filling in with smaller images. And that little silver, wreath, I think it was a wreath. And I just kind of cut it so one piece fit at the bottom, and then I have another little piece that I'm tucking up here at the top. But I don't want to cover up too much of that scarf on a spool. All of those cute little, they look like ribbons, but they're actually scarves on spools. So I'm just trimming that top so you can still see the scarf coming out, and it actually goes over onto the next page, and I like that. So now that my whole background is filled up, now I'm adding just a couple small images. So I have these cute little mice under a mushroom. I have a little lantern, and then I think this tag is really cute. And I fussy cut most of the white out, but I left some of it because I figured for sure I was going to snip off that thin string. And a little poinsettia. And then I'm just flipping through to see if there's anything else, but there was not. So that's it. This is just a really quick glue book session. I like this. What's the weirdest gift you've ever received? By the way, leave in the comments if you do have a weird gift you've ever received. I would love to know. But this just kind of sets the tone for the next season. And then next time I work in this book, it will be when Care and I are doing our winter same images challenge. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you ever have questions about anything I'm doing, feel free to ask. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you again soon.